Hello, my friends. This is Thomas Wake, astrowake.com. Today we're going over the natal birth chart of one Ivanka Trump. This is something that I've put a good amount of work into. I have set up slideshows, and this is going to be. I'm going to try to do my best with this. Now, I have a certain affinity and things in common with Ivanka Trump. For we were both born on October 30th, 1981, in Lenox Hill Hospital, New York, New York. Yes, we were born on the same day in the same hospital, and I happen to be a freaking astrologer. So she was born October 30th, 10/30, 1981, New York, New York. Born to a wealthy family of real estate, married Jared Kushner, and we're going to go through her whole life. This is going to be a little bit time consuming, but I think it's important that we find out who this woman is. All right. This is what's going on in her life right now. Let's just go to her birth chart. Okay, so I'm giving her a Capricorn ascendant because we don't know the time of her birth. So what this does, it happens to be, this is my chart as well. And then Jared Kushner was just born 2 months after, so they have a similar chart. He happens to be a Capricorn sun, so I'm putting her as a Capricorn ascendant. You'll see that your ascendant, the time of your birth, that changes every 2 hours or so. You will have people come into your life that have a sun or a moon as your rising, and your rising will be their sun or moon, or your sun will be their ascendant. Now, her older brother and her younger brother are both Capricorns. Now, when she converted to Judaism, which we'll see in her chart why that happened, we're going to go for, so she converted to Judaism. She chose the name Yael, Jael, El being El of the Elohim, Saturn. Now, Yael means literally a goat, my friends. The ibex. A goat. Popular because Capra nubiana of Capricorn. The goat of Capricorn is what she chose her name to be as she converted to Judaism. And it is Chabad Lubavitch Judaism, which is into Kabbalahism, which is into things that are considered the dark occult, which matches up with her Scorpio sun. And if we have this chart, this would put her Mars in the 8th house at home in Scorpio, giving her more scorpionic energy, but in Virgo. So paying attention to details well, being passionate about organizing and structuring. But Capricorn is it more of the architecture. So what that does is your early life is your first house as well. So she tells the story that she was upset that she got Barbies and she wanted Legos because she wanted to construct things like her brothers. And since she could remember, she wanted to be an architect and into real estate and to build high rises to change the skyline of the city. Now she has a Sagittarius moon, but it's conjuncting dark moon Lilith. This lends to a sexual abuse situation in youth. Lilith is the one who won't be subservient to her husband. It gives it a female, dark, revolutionary side. But then we have Eris, which is very much like Dark Moon Lilith. She was mad because she wasn't invited to this wedding of the gods. So what she did, she took an apple, wrote on it to the fairest, threw it in, and everybody freaking battled, and it caused great discord, which is the sister of Eris, Discordia, or another name for Eris. Now, this is directly opposing Saturn, her planetary chart ruler, if she's a Capricorn ascendant. See, because there's some inequality of houses. It's called interception. So, and this is because this happens for people who were born close, further north, or away from the equator. So it gives us this, us, who, me and Ivanka freaking Trump, my freaking astrological twin. So weird. So here, and what this also does, this puts Saturn into Libra, but in the ninth house. See, I can almost, she's got this Libra stellium, which makes somebody very diplomatic, very attractive. All these planets in a Venetian place. What's her Venus doing? Conjuncting Neptune. The ability to be fooled, to be deceived, and to deceive others, and having this idea of love and romance that is impossible, but also having a deep spirituality, or capable of it at least. And that's making a sextile over to her Pluto-Jupiter conjunction in Libra. A Pluto-Jupiter conjunction gives somebody a deep religious conversion experience, hence her conversion to Judaism, and one that's in the dark. And so she started learning about that as an older person. So this has to do with our secondary studies. She studied international business, which is something that I studied in school. But then I had this deep religious conversion, and I went to be a Catholic priest. And then I had a deep conversion out of the Catholic Church when I discovered astrotheology. That religion has lots of astrology that it's based off of. I'm just gonna leave that there. Now she has the dark moon Lilith conjunct her moon, and then this would put her Chiron in her fourth house of mothering. She talks about how she had postnatal depression. This is a very Chiron in your fourth house thing to do.
There are a lot of mistakes I see people make when they're negotiating. I think one of the most obvious is when people give ranges. When it's sort of a buy-sell transaction, if you say, I'd be willing to pay...
Here's her Libra stellium.
125. Also New Jersey, 125. So don't give a range. I also...
Mercury in Libra makes for a good negotiator. Her Scorpio makes her manipulative, secretive, deeply loyal to family. They might reveal something valuable. And how'd you do that?
And they'll often reveal something about their position and what they're looking for that can be useful information. In a negotiation, it's not always super transactional. Sometimes if you're buying a used car, or the potential for some...
Many negotiations lead to partnerships and opportunities. That goes with love life too, if you got a Sagittarius moon. Anyways, one thing I like to point out about this is she wears contacts as well. Kind of a deceptive thing. One thing about she has blue eyes one day, brown the next, whatever. I don't care about that. A Libra stellium gives you the opportunity to be into the world of fashion and to make it a business. Let's look back at the chart. A merchant, Mercury and Libra, so that's somebody who's working in the fashion industry. Jupiter and Pluto, that's near her midheaven. That's where you make a lot of money, very powerful. That's the billionaire conjunction. Or the deep spiritual one, like Gandhi conjunction, especially in the ninth house, which makes me think I think her stellium might be in the 10th house, which would make her born a little bit earlier than me. I see her being a little bit more mature than me. Similarities. My dad was into worked on Wall Street and was a commercial realtor and had to declare bankruptcy, as did Trump. She tells a story about how one time her dad pointed to some homeless guy in front of Trump Tower, and said, "Right now that guy has $6 or $8 million more than I do because he was in debt $6 to $8 million. He got bought out by the Rothschild Corporation, by their American leader of Wilbur Ross, who, when Trump won his presidency, put Wilbur Ross in head of commerce and all the Goldman Sachs people who Kushner is in bed with as well. Lots of manipulation going on coming from Kushner and Ivanka. Trump is Ivanka is Trump's Achilles heel, quote unquote, from another. I did lots of research. That's from an insider in politics in DC. We have Mars sextiling her sun. That is a strong aspect. We have Uranus that was at the end of Scorpio. That is just gives her more scorpionic. We'll see what house that is. If it's at home in the 11th house, that makes somebody very into like humanitarianism. She's very much into stuff like that. And with her moon conjunct Dark Moon Lilith in the 11th, that is somebody who's about mother's rights and being passionate about it. She's all about passion. That's very scorpionic. That's very Mars sextiling the sun in sun being in Scorpio. Beautiful chart. The Chiron though, being hurt and with the mother, she had to go through a really tough divorce that was in the spotlight. The Sagittarius Venus is, and then with Neptune there conjunct, that's a really pleasant aspect and can make somebody very dreamy to help offset the intense scorpionic energy. The Capricorn is going to make their way to the top of the hill, and with the Scorpio sun, could be like she will step on people to get there and be manipulative and secretive. For the Scorpio male, they don't have that as much because it's water's feminine energy. Okay. Here she is wearing black, very scorpionic. See with that Saturn Mercury conjunction, she says some stuff that and she just gets people go Saturn on her, and she gets freaking nailed for everything she says. And she says some stupid stuff. I mean, or people just being Trump's daughter is the hardest job in the world. Yeah, because Trump's freaking crazy. Gemini, bouncing back and forth. Now, if you match up the chart of Ivanka and Jared, you'll see two people coming together in marriage as a business deal. Ivanka Trump joked that being president's daughter is the hardest job in the world. Well, President or Trump's. Still, it's tough, but she just got totally torn apart by the media. Mercury's the media, and Saturn. So there's Saturn Mercury showing up against her. Let's see. I wish these came up a little bit quicker. The Jerusalem Post. Here we have her shopping for the Sukkot. So she's really getting into her exercising the Jewish faith, which is very Jupiter conjunct Pluto. And this makes her a deeply religious person. And also, I'm afraid somebody into like dark Kabbalahism, the dark Cabal, and being like a high priestess in the freaking thing. I got my tarot cards we're gonna go through, pull cards. I got an oracle deck. I'm gonna light my incense right now. I got crystals out here because I'm a Scorpio, so I'm into this stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if she watches this. And if she does, I want to tell you, I love you, big fan. Don't go to the dark side. Or if you're already there with Jared, as if anybody looks into the Kushner family history and Jared Kushner and what he's doing for Chabad Lubavitch and Zionism, you'll very much come to the conclusion that Kushner is there as a Mossad agent. And now Ivanka Trump could be just totally fooled by the whole thing, but I don't think so. Because her Eris opposition to Saturn, she could be the one using Jared. She has that Neptune Venus conjunction where she could just be totally unaware of the illusion that she's stuck in. That's like watching a Disney movie and not being able to tell fantasy from reality. Here she is. She started her her Ivanka brand, and people just tear her apart on social media. A crushing blow to the 90% off final clearance rack at TJ Maxx. She's gonna be uber loyal to her dad. Here she is just getting torn apart by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's being a little bit out of touch with reality. I'm sorry, Ivanka. Here is some Dark Moon Lilith type stuff. Quincy Jones has made some bold dating claims lately. He says he used to date Ivanka Trump. That's like dating your dad, which goes back to some. Her dark moon conjunction makes a very close aspect to, I think, Donald Trump's moon. I'm sorry. If you go through the pictures, which I don't even want to bring up, some disturbing stuff, and then Trump's in cahoots with the guy running a sex slave operation next to Mar-a-Lago. Okay. But we have to remember these people are still people. Here she is listening to Kendrick Lamar. Music is a big part of the Scorpio's life. Get turned. Oh, on the front of her get turned is Drake the Scorpio. I don't know why I had that up. She having that stellium in Libra would make for somebody good with social media and stuff. She needs a better publicist. Sorry, boo boo. She's a very scheduled mom. This would be her Mars in Virgo, and I think her Capricorn ascendant. Her Very much she likes nicer things. Very clean, professional look. That's very Capricorn. Big teeth. That's very Capricorn. I used to have some bad teeth. She had fuller cheeks, which almost makes me think a Cancer ascendant. A little bit. Her nose is kind of scorpionic, like the eagle. And then I see some like horse likeness, which is like Sagittarius. So it's all around that area from Scorpio to Capricorn, and you'll see that's where the majority of her planets are. Here's Kush with 666, and the way that he got out of that deal was very manipulative. He's got a Pisces moon, which makes him super sensitive. He's really old. Oh, bitch. He's into real estate, very Capricornian.
Its Kushner-owned complexes are now the focus of a class action lawsuit against its subsidiary, Westminster Management. The case has been brought by lawyer Andy Freeman. That Westminster Management charges various fees associated with suburban landlords.
Jared Kushner's dad, in charge of the Jewish Russian mob, is going to court on all these charges, and he sets up his brother-in-law, his sister's husband, with prostitutes, videotapes it, sends it to his sister while she's hosting a house party as part of tampering with witnesses because they were testifying against his crooked business deals. His son is who we have behind the scenes treating the White House like his place to do real estate deals and business, and to further the plan of the Zionist state of Israel. His true allegiance. Number one, Benjamin Netanyahu used to come and stay at his house and sleep in his bed. Mossad agent type stuff is what his dad was into. That's what the Mossad agents do. That's what Feinstein, the Trump guy, the Mar-a-Lago guy who had his sex slave trade, they would bring in foreign dignitaries, politicians. They would videotape them with, after they get them drunk and drugged up, videotape them with underage girls or boys, and then use that as ways to control them. The same thing that Homeboy did. Ivanka Trump's dating history. A cute part about her is she dated the 70s show guy, the skinny guy. That's kind of Sagittarius moon of her. Lots of redeeming qualities. Kushner, Murray Kushner, is a prominent supporter of Governor Chris Christie. Chris Christie is who put Charles Kushner in jail. So Charles Kushner and his own brother had great money battles. It was horribly sick. Chris Christie just tears apart Jared Kushner's dad. That's an article about Ivanka Trump changing her voice through the years, probably because she had work done on her teeth, I think, and Scorpios are known for changing themselves constantly. Here she is talking about visiting Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial in Jerusalem, and she has been mentioned with regards to the United States recognition of Jerusalem as a capital of Israel. So she helped to get that done. Her and her husband made a pilgrimage to the grave of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. or Chabad Lubavitch, who they thought was the Messiah, who is it's end time prophecy, um, Judaism, that they have to build the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, which means what's there right now? A dome of the rock. It's got to come down. Her Hebrew name Yael. Yael is mean Nubian ibex. What Yael did was she took a freaking she took a nail and a hammer and nailed through the ear into the head, brain of the king. Even though she wasn't a Jew, she did it for the Jewish people. So, is that what that's what Ivanka Trump thinks she's doing? Scary. Okay. A Sagittarius moon can be philosophical. Here she is some quotes. Running is a great metaphor for life. You set a goal and that's what Sagittarius moons do. They always look deeper into something. I always envision myself having a traditional, elegant wedding. Tradition. That's very Capricorn. Shoot. Wants to I spearhead interior design for all Trump projects. When I bid out, that's a very Librarian stellium. When I bid out on our construction projects, construction. Construction's very Saturnalian. Here's her, but she's not too overly pessimistic, optimist or solution oriented. That's her Sagittarian moon. Her with her sun in her 10th house, that Scorpio makes her very actually loving with her father and loyal. You can see that she's always sticking up for me. A good relationship with her mother. Her mom's an Aquarius. Dad a Gemini. No, her mom is, I think, Pisces. Son of the 10th house being the public eye. Modeling wasn't good. It's hard to, Scorpios aren't good at forcing smiles. Honestly, I have a tendency to date dorks. Oh, that's sweet. She's all about the working woman. That's very Capricornian. Capricorn should be strict parents. I don't plan to take a formal, cold approach with my children, but I expect a lot. I don't want my children to view me as their best friend. I want to be their mom. Her North Node's in Cancer, calling her to be motherly. Know what you want to achieve. It's all about goals. She's all about passion. She cares about people having passion. Very Scorpio. My husband's idea of a date night somehow always involves me looking at one of his development sites. Very Capricornian. Very much of their business relationship. But she's got a bad girl in her. She flashed from her school window, flashed a hot dog seller outside her posh $44,000 a year private school. She also was smoked pot with the She would sneak out at 9 a.m. for her 2 cigarette smokes, one after another at Wharton College. See, she's got a cool part to her. She had a tough childhood with her parents divorcing and stuff, and her dad being weird. I mean, her dad's weird. He's got Uranus like on his ascendant, but she could actually be more relatable than she puts herself off as. The version that she has carefully crafted, this version that is out in the public, able to keep lots of things really behind curtains, being a secretive, mysterious Scorpio. Her dad wasn't really there that much for her. Couldn't relate to the kids, being a weird dude. But her mom mostly raised her. That's very Dark Moon Lilith type. She dated this guy, I think his name was Boom or something, who got busted with cocaine while they were dating. Rumor said that she was doing cocaine, but she's denied him. But one friend said that she partook. I'm sure she did. In 2012, it raised eyebrows when she smoked pot with her friends at the wedding of Natalie Portman and Benjamin Millipede. That sounds cool. Good for her. I've seen at least a good amount of people that she's dated. Ivanka Trump influenced my father to launch serious strikes, reveals brother Eric. Perhaps the one who's really behind the scenes controlling stuff. And then Kushner, a Zionist, pro-Israeli, dual citizenship, great friends with Benjamin Netanyahu. And look what Trump's doing with all this stuff. Israel first. And she's bought in whole as the Yael for the Jewish people. And they're just using her to get to her dad. So that she can influence him. Because she is his Achilles heel. He can't say no to her, quote unquote. The brother realizes it. She's a middle child, so am I. I have an older sister, younger sister, both Pisces. She has an older brother, younger brother, both Capricorn. Astrology is real. Oh, she dated the Rothschild son before Kushner. The Rothschilds are the people who started the state of Israel. The Balfour Declaration. Oh, Lord. Oh, they're very attractive. And I'm rooting for her. I know she's got goodness in her. I mean, we all do. But I just pray that she has America's best interest out for her. They said that Trump only got into the presidency to boost the Trump name for business. He's owned by the Rothschild bankers. They bought him out of the personal debt that they could have wrecked him, but they said he was worth more alive, quote unquote. All right, we're done with that. This is what's going on with her now. She has this Pluto-Saturn South Node whole conjunction, which will persist until 2020. This is her either make or break. Kushner, Capricorn, her ascendant. But what it does do, Uranus is, this is without the houses even. Uranus has moved into first degrees of Taurus. This is opposing her sun. So within this year, into 2020, 21, it'll come in direct opposition to her sun, giving her lots of change in her home. Perhaps being on freaking house arrest. All right. Let's go into some tarot cards. Go to astrowake.com. Get your bumbleclap reading. Ivanka Trump, boo-boo. Love you. You got this. Stand up for what's right. Be careful of your Neptunian Venetian collusion, disillusionment. Take that time in prayer and try to think outside of the box of Saturn. There's pictures with her wearing a red bracelet. That's Kabbalistic. Here we have, look, you can see through the holes, weird. The card of the Pentacles is waiting on, so perhaps treating the presidency like a way to make money for the White House. I heard there's rumors of her that's going to run for president. I bet you she would win. She's pretty, she could speak well, and she's got that hunger for power and that magneticism. Scorpios are very magnetic, and I bet she knows how to use it to manipulate her father. The Justice upside down, so perhaps she'll never get her justice, or perhaps she's gonna get turned upside down by our justice system. Solitude, perhaps an attack on her life. Perhaps she's in danger. Her tower falling down. Entrepreneurial things not going well. Never wish bad on anybody. Duh. One final card to send us out. We were given two. Abundance. Yes, you got plenty of abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. She's a powerful woman. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Maybe I should stop hating on her. Start getting in the game. Being more manipulative. That's what kind of business is, right? So thank you for that lesson, Ivanka Trump. It's a cold world.